Over the past 8 years, I've done over 2,500 wholesaling real estate deals. And I can tell you, I am in the 1% of the 1% of wholesalers. There's a very, very, very small percentage of people that are making more money than me and Rick wholesaling real estate. And I'm proud to be part of the 1% of wholesalers in this business. Now, I'm part of the 1% of wholesalers in this business because of 30 specific things that I follow on a daily basis. And what I want to tell you is within the 30 years that me and Rick combined have had in wholesaling real estate almost, we follow very, very specific rules and ways that we do this business. And what I want to do is give you 30 rules or 30 ways to be in the 1% of wholesalers getting started wholesaling real estate. So if you want to wholesale better than 99% of people, right, you want to be in the top 1% of wholesaling real estate. I'm going to show you exactly systematically how to be in there and really give you my entire step-by-step 30 rules so you know exactly how to become the best wholesaler possible. So without further ado, let's get into this and let you break this down. So the first rule, which might seem pretty tame, pretty simple, but something I think is very, very not looked at a lot is number one, create a goal and stick with it. And this is kind of the hardest for a lot of people. This is a reason why I think a lot of wholesalers ultimately quit this business and fail is they don't set goals. They don't even know what they're doing, right? I think a lot of beginners out here, they try to get their first deal, but they don't have a set goal. Like, for example, everybody wants to go out here and say, oh, Zach, I want to get $10,000. Well, it's not getting $10,000. That shouldn't be the thing you focus on, right? Because if you focus on $10,000, you're just looking at $10,000. There's no action to take or nothing you can really know to get that 10 grand. But if you say, hey, my goal is to do 1,000 sticky notes, it's like, yeah, I could stare at that goal and say, okay, well, how many days do I want to hit that goal? I'm going to hit in 30 days. Well, what is it? You're going to do 30, 30 a day, 40 a day, right? Like, I mean, boom, now we know 40 a day, boom, get it, right? Like that's it. That's as simple as making a definable goal. Yeah, 10 grand's definable, but I'd rather you switch your goals from the effect to the cause. So everyone knows about cause and effect, right? So if I want to make $10,000, that's the effect I want. Well, what's the thing I can do to cause me to make 10 grand? That is what you focus on. And so if you want to become a millionaire, you really got to focus on how to become the millionaire. Number two, eliminate fake supporters. I don't think a lot of people can stomach this, and I'm saying this in the nicest way, but you guys have a lot of fake supporters in your life. You might have your friends and heck, sometimes even your family that they love you. They say they support you, but saying that they have your back is a lot different than actually having your back or helping you support your goals, right? I know a lot of people that have their spouses and they're getting into wholesaling and their spouse says, stop working so hard, or why are you doing this whole, and they just bring you down and try to make sure you don't really do it. Now, I'm not saying eliminate your wife or your girlfriend or anything like that, right? But like try to, as much as you can, eliminate the people in your life that aren't serving your goals. And if you can eliminate, try to reduce it as much as possible. A lot of your friends don't want you to do better than you. And for the vast majority, your parents are really the only people in your life that want you to do better than them. And it's a very, very sad truth, and it's a very, very hard thing to stomach, but it's unfortunately it's a real thing. And so just understand that you're going to have a lot of fake supporters. You're going to have a lot of people not really supporting you or helping you with your goals. A lot of people telling you why you're doing this, you shouldn't do this, this is a waste of time, all these things. And it's a little depressing, it's a little sad, but just understand that it's just a way of life. And if you understand it's just a way of life, it gets a little easier to stomach. So eliminate the people that aren't helping you with your goals, or try to get rid of things that aren't helping you. Heck, yourself can be a fake supporter. If you're scrolling on TikTok all day or social media, you're not, focusing on what you have to do, you are being a terrible supporter for yourself, right? You listen to you more than anyone else, right? Number three here is hack your schedule. I have talked to a lot of wholesalers about their schedules, and the vast majority of people that aren't getting anywhere have terrible schedules. They are not knowing what they have to do for the day. When they wake up in the morning, they don't even know what's got to get done. And they're honestly just walking around aimlessly in life, trying to strike it rich. And when you have a plan, you usually can conquer better, right? So if you had an army and you're looking to conquer, right? If you have a plan, you're going to do good, right? If you play a basketball game or a football game and you watch film, you create plays, you study the competition, and then you go after it in the game, you usually do a lot better than just winging it, right? There's a big difference between pick up basketball and actually like a plan. And the cool part about having plans and game plans and strategy is with the right strategy, you can beat people who are better than you, right? You can destroy your competition in wholesaling that have more money than you, more experience, all these things. If you just have the plan and you work more. So hack your schedule. What I mean by this is a crazy concept, but like when you wake up tomorrow morning, right? Know what you have to do like tonight. So like the night before, write down on a piece of paper everything you have to do. Like just systematically write it down from the top to bottom what you need to do. Just focus on that. Hey, I need to call 100 people. I need to pull the code violation list. I got to do this, this, or this. Focus and really break down really hard on what your schedule is and stick to it. If watching 30 minutes of Hope Core videos in between cold calls is not in your schedule, don't do it, right? If going out here and scrolling and playing Clash of Clans is not on your schedule from 5 to 7 p.m. and you're calling, don't do it. I know this is crazy to say, but like just focus on the tasks you have to do. And I know it's hard. We have all these distractions and everything like this, right? It's crazy. But if you just make a schedule and stick to it, kind of like we talked about number one, you are automatically in the 1%. And the bar has never been lower to become a successful wholesaler. If you're in my generation, right, Gen Z, and you are under the age of 25, 26, it has never been easier to become a great wholesaler because everybody our age usually, right, the bottom 95% of people my age, they are doom scrolling. They are stuck on social media. They are watching other people become rich and they're just not willing to work hard. But the top 5% are crazy animal workers. But the thing is, the vast majority of wholesalers do not, they're all talk. They don't really want to become successful. They don't want to grind. They don't really want to go out here and make a life for themselves and retire their mom. And they say they do, but they don't want to, right? Everybody wants the Lambo, but they don't want to do what they have to do to get the Lamborghini. So hack your schedule. And this is a complete all-in immersive thing you have to do. Be a person that when you say you do something, you do it. And the vast majority of people don't do it. Hack your schedule, go do it. Number 4 here, say no to say yes. And what I mean by this is saying no to things is saying yes to others. And I know that might sound confusing, but if you say no to somebody's Christmas party plans and you're working or you're grinding, you're saying yes to your goals. You're saying yes to your success in the future. So when your buddies go drinking three days a week, right? Maybe you say no 2 out of 3 times. Once a week's a pretty good compromise. And when you say no, you're saying yes to your dreams. Now, vice versa, if you say yes to the party or hanging out or going to the club, you're saying no to your dreams. And I hate to make this like a whole, yes or no or 1 or 0 binary thing, but it sometimes is at this point. You have to stack the chips as much as possible and increase the odds of your success. And here's the thing about blackjack or poker or gambling, right? What are the odds on blackjack? I think the odds on blackjack are like 48%, or when I play blackjack, it's 55, but I ain't gonna tell you how. I think you can figure it out, right? I've never actually lost money on blackjack. That's a fun fact for me, but I won't get into that. If you know how to count the right way and have eidetic memory like me, it's fun. But one thing I could tell you with like roulette I think has a 49 or 48% winning chance if you do black or red or odd or even, right? Because those green zeros, right? And that means if you're going to play roulette and you just bet on black, you have a 48% chance over time of doubling your money, which again, you lose money overall. That's how the casino, that's how the house usually wins, right? But the funniest thing about this is, what if you're able to stack the odds and you had some inside information on how you can make it 55, 56%, right? I'm not going to tell you how I'm really good at blackjack, but like I'm just very good at numbers and counting and things like that. And I was able to calculate like the more time I spend playing it, the more money I make. And I don't gamble. I'm not a fan of it, right? Wholesaling is only gambling I like, but sometimes I gotta go out there with buddies and stuff and play around. But you just stack the odds in your favor, right? People who play baccarat are like this too. Like I might get in trouble for saying this, but like I know like buddies who are like Chinese American, they play baccarat and they win. Like they don't lose. They will play for like 6 or 7 hours. Like some of these are old men too. They always win. And they have figured a way because they're so smart to stack the, and I don't know why it's that type of Americans, but like they're really good at baccarat. That's just what, and they always win. Okay. And it's kind of funny. And I was reading something about that. And it kind of got me thinking about wholesaling real estate because you can just stack the odds. If you just play this, you have a 70% chance of doubling your money. And if you have a 70% win rate with the 2-to-1 odds, you're going to just, it's almost infinite money at that point. And so wholesaling real estate, if you can stack the odds of you becoming rich wholesaling from 10% all the way up to 70 or 80%, you need to do that. And unfortunately, the only way really to do that is just to put more time in this business doing income producing activities. And that's what wholesaling real estate is all about. Now, number 5, and a lot of people do not want to hear this, but I'm telling you the dang truth. Make your phone, put a black and white filter on your phone. Now, a lot of people ain't going to like this, especially my generation, the youngins. But just really hear me out for a second. If you put your phone on black and white filter, no color, your phone becomes a lot less fun. Being honest with you. And you get less dopamine being dropped in your brain when you're on Facebook and Instagram and all these things. You're like, I don't even want to be scrolling on Facebook anymore. You find this out. This is a crazy hack, but you don't spend enough time on social media and it's kind of boring to you. And that kind of changes your dopamine receptors in your brain. And I personally found when you do that, you spend less time on your phone. And when you spend less time on your phone, you spend more time on making money. And you know what's colorful? $100 bills. They're blue, they're green. It's so fun. And so making money fun again, right? You'll spend way less time on your phone and you'll make a lot more money. So you're not going to be scrolling on TikTok. If you scroll on TikTok 2 hours, 3 hours a day, if you have that thing black and white, you're not going to do it. I know it's crazy. Okay. It's insane to me, but I'm just telling you right now, go do that. You're going to find a massive drop in your screen time. And if you use that screen time on things that actually make you money, you're going to do a lot better. Another like quick hack, right? You're watching this YouTube video. If you watch this YouTube video and you, let's say, listen to it while you drive for dollars, maybe while you work out, you probably get more content in and maybe it's more positive things and more great information. It's going to help you out a lot. It's a great idea. Number 6 here, go ghost. I've said this before. I've made complete videos and just complete talks about this, but go ghost. And what I mean by this is like, just, I know it's crazy to say, but like kind of disappear for like 2 or 3 months and go all in on your business. I'm not saying to be a neglectful father or mother if you are one or like all these things, but like if you can eliminate every single distraction and just go and put every possible resource into success for wholesaling, you have a good chance at making it. The cool part about that is like you can do it and you have a really good shot at getting rich wholesaling. The funny thing is, if you did that for like boxing training or basketball or be a quarterback, 3 months ain't going to get you there. So unfortunately with sports, it's like sometimes you get a God-given talent with insane work ethic and you can make it work. Some people do not have that talent and they don't have the work ethic, right? I'm going to get attacked from this, but like everyone thinks they can be like LeBron through hard work, and you're not going to be 6'9" through hard work. All right. As much as I try to work hard on being good at basketball, I'm just not going to be better than LeBron. Genetics is a lot of it, but like I can't be 6'9". It's difficult. As much as I try to sprint, I'm never going to beat Usain Bolt. And half of it's genetic, but also the work ethic. No one probably can beat his work ethic. But when you mix those two, it's unbelievable. The coolest part about wholesaling is never genetics why you're successful or not. It's about how hard you're willing to work and how good you use your brain. And those are all things that are completely in your control. Me being 6'9" is not gonna, that's not within my brain power. So the thing is, go ghost. Like really just go all in. Disappear. Your friends might not see you, but they'll understand it. When you come back rich and successful, they're going to love you for it. I promise you this. Number 7, endure, don't suffer. Now, this has been something I've been really big on and something that's going to be moving into 2025 a lot. But the difference between winners and losers in wholesaling real estate, right, is a winner will look at hard work as enduring. So like I endured this for a year. I endured this for 2 years. And a loser looks at the hard work as I'm suffering. I'm suffering. And the work is the same. One example for this is in high school wrestling, right? Our coach used to say, embrace the grind. And what he meant by that is embrace this is a grind. Like enjoy the hard work. Enjoy it's going to suck. And I was just like, dude, come on. Like I'm cutting weight. I'm tired. But like, it's a way better thing of just saying, you're going to suffer. This is going to suck. And this is, you're just suffering, right? And the cool part about that is like the suffering always had a reward in wrestling, right? Because then you win matches and it feels good, right? But the thing is, enduring is the really, really big difference of your mindset. And your mind plays tricks on you. Your mind says a lot of things, but really understand that look at the work as enduring, not suffering. And when you look at it like that, a lot of things change in your life and you actually end up having more wins. You feel better and you don't feel like a loser. And you're less likely to quit too. That's also a very important thing too. Number 8, call from 5 to 7 p.m. 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern time, wherever your sellers are, right? These are what I call the golden hours of wholesaling real estate. These are the hours where you have the best chance of getting deals, the best chance of making money, the best chance of having success. 5 p.m. through 7 p.m. And a lot of wholesalers don't do these times, right? This is the time they eat dinner and just chillax. And this is the greatest time possible for you to talk to sellers and attack your marketing. Like this is your prime time. Like this is like your go time. And if you have the ability to, let's say you like cold calling from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. If you have the ability to go from 5 to 7, you're going to double the amount of contacts and you do the same amount of work, but you usually get like 30 or 40% extra results. And I think that's an amazing way to just stack the chips on top of your success if you're someone that works a lot. And if you have a very limited time to start marketing. So 5 to 7 p.m. are the best time possible for your marketing and getting in front of sellers. So I would say focus from 5 to 7 p.m. If you can cold call, if you are going to cold call, go after it. That is the best time to be doing it. Number 9, follow up with everybody in your CRM once a month. I don't care if they're on a 6-month follow-up, a 7-month follow-up. Say, hey, anyone that looks to sell, reach out every single month and just seeing what's going on. Because I don't have a magic ball. Life changes so much. How things can change, right? Just seeing what's going on with you in your life and if there's anything I can do to help you out. Okay, well, if you're looking to sell, let me know. The funny part is a lot of people look at follow-ups as like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of work. And a follow-up is simple as, hey, is this John? Hey, John, how's it going? This is Zach. Just following up, just seeing what's going on with you. We're coming up on Christmas. And I know you told me to contact you in 3 or 4 months, but, life is crazy. Things change and just seeing how you're doing. Okay, perfect. Well, if anything changes, if you're still looking to sell the house or whenever you're ready for it, my phone number is right here, just so you don't forget me. All right, John, thank you so much. And that was a quick 15, 20 seconds. And I know it's kind of stupid, but if you get just 1 out of 50 of those, like, you know what, I think I am maybe looking to sell now, right? Just be that person because if you want to be in that 1%, right, you're going to be talking to more follow-ups and the fortune is in the follow-ups and you do make more money with following up. You are going to end up making more bank doing that. A lot of people have like leads and it's so sad. All right. Like it is so sad. I don't know how to say this, that I will go to someone and say, okay, how many leads are in your Podio? How many leads are in your X Leads Ninja Mode CRM, right? All these. And they're like, oh, I have 200 leads. I'm like, okay, when's the last time you contacted every single lead? They're like, well, there's some leads I haven't talked to in like 2 or 3 months. I'm like, this is a lead graveyard. You want me to go buy some flowers for the lead graveyard? Like this is depressing. Some of these leads you're going to get deals from. This is from my 8 years of experience wholesaling, 2,500 wholesaling deals, right? There's so many deals in these follow-ups. And it is a simple 15, 20 seconds. I just showed you a quick example. It's a simple 15, 20 seconds. That's all it takes. Whole life changes. Come on. Follow up with your leads every single month. Quick, simple call. I would prefer you not to text. If you have to text, sure, you can text. I'd rather you not, but hey, you technically could, right? Number 10, this is kind of similar to follow-ups, but force yourself into, like, weasel your way into an appointment if you can. If somebody has a motivation or an interest in selling their property, force your way into an appointment. And I know this is controversial and people are going to, oh, I can't believe he says this. And who cares? At this point, I'm just going to give you the advice that's gotten me rich. You want to be a top 1%, you just got to get more at-bats. That I don't care if we got Randy Johnson, left-hander throwing 100-mile-an-hour fastballs. If I just get more at-bats, I can score more. And the cool part is in wholesaling, strikeouts don't matter. There's no strikes. There's only homers, hits, or outs. And the thing about this is, if someone's kind of on the fence on selling, go and meet them at the house. Go and try to get that appointment. This has happened so many times. I cannot stress this. Where the seller is like, I want 40 grand above what I really like, what a good deal is. And like they're stuck on that price. You know what? Let me go meet you at the house. I meet at the house and I go belly to belly, right? I explain the problem. I show them that this is black. Hey, Sheila, this is black mold on the siding. That is not dirt. That's black mold. Hey, you see the hollowness of this? That's not an ant. That's a termite. And termite damage is this, and this. And it's kind of funny that I have to explain this to them and say, yeah, I know you want this much because your neighbor next door sold it, but your neighbor has granite countertops and they don't have, and I kid you not, carpet on the toilet. This is not 1974 anymore. And I have to go in person and I say, I can't do that 140, but I'm going to have to be closer to like 90. They say, okay, can you do 100? And it's so hard for me to explain on video, but there's just something about being in person that changes everything, right? And when you get in front of that seller, just having that at bat, yeah, it's like baseball, right? 30% chance of just getting that hit. But if you do enough of those kind of on the fence sellers, if you meet them in person and you kind of know how to close, going through freewholesaling.com, right? You're going to close them. You're going to get deals that no other virtual guy could get, no one else could possibly get. And so if you can say, I know you're kind of on the fence, John, but I'm actually seeing a house nearby. Maybe you are, maybe you're not. Who knows? Is it okay if I swing by after that one and just see you, have a chat? Guys, unless you're like doing deal hand over fist and you just do not have the time, I would want you to at least go on the appointment versus not going on the appointment, because there might be a 10% chance, but if you go on 10 of those in a couple months, that's an extra deal. That's 6 extra deals a year. That's an extra 60, 70 grand in your pocket that will move the needle forward for your success in wholesaling real estate. So if you can, force your way into the appointment. Force your way. I'm telling you, just force your way in. And I forced my way in plenty of times on appointments and gotten deals because of it, because I'm more consistent, more persistent on getting wholesaling deals. That is how you do it. This is live, by the way. Okay. I see the comments. This is live, by the way. Okay. I'm going to answer questions at the end of this. Number 11, fight the urge to scroll. Now, this is my third Gen Z don't be on social media meme, but I really, really mean this. There is an insanely powerful thing when you just when you eliminate all distractions and you actually work. If you work a 9-to-5 job, those 8 hours minus your 30-minute lunch, so 7.5 hours, right? How much of those 7.5 hours are you truly focused, super dedicated on your job? I would argue if you're a white collar, you're probably only half. If you're in the medical field, probably 80%. And some nurses might attack me on that one, but like 80%. You're not really putting a full work because you're getting paid by the hour, right? Like you're getting paid by the hour. The thing is, if you are legitimately, like I'm like looking at you like legitimately, you put a full 8 hours into wholesaling, like wake up, you are doing deals, like you're wholesaling, no distraction, nothing crazy, right? You're going to end up doing a lot better than the guys doing 14-hour grinds, but like they're on their phone half the time. Like it's, and I'm not trying to snap on anyone with a job, but if you're getting paid by that, you're not like, you know what I mean? Like that 8 hours is really like 6, right? Like I get it. And so you fight the urge to distract yourself, fight the like it's constant urge, right? And the problem, these algorithms know exactly what you want, right? It's going to show me Tyreek Hill highlight tapes all day on my Instagram. It's tough, right? The coolest cars in the world get shown on my thing, right? Like the thing that I love, they're going to throw it on there. Oh, here's a $4 million yacht boat that you love on fishing, right? Here's a marlin, off the Cape in Mexico, and I love marlin fishing. They're going to show me that, right? They're going to show me the coolest stuff, sharks. I'm like, I have a lot of like guy stuff, right? The algorithm's going to show you exactly what you want. So fight the urge to scroll. Number 12, be like Zach. Now, I'm not saying this of a place of ego. I'm not saying this in a place of me thinking I'm above anyone or anything like that, right? But one really important concept that I've seen have a lot of success with people is, this is like a Dwight Schrute example, and it's kind of funny, but like it's completely true. It's like, I think of what an idiot would do, and if an idiot would do that, I don't do that. And it's kind of funny, like it's from The Office, right? It's a TV show, but like it's kind of funny, but like it's really genius advice. So if you're about to do something, it's like, well, would Zach do this or would Zach not do this if he was in my position? Would Zach complain? Would Zach wake up in the morning and say, "Oh, I had a hard night's sleep"? Oh, you think I do that in the morning, right? Come on. Like, of course I'm like tired. I'm like, oh, sometimes, but like I'm like, hey, let's get it. I'm alive. I'm blessed. I have air in my lungs. Someone woke up today without air in their lungs and gotta live the most out of his life, right? And so you just gotta like be like Zach, right? And some of the greatest like examples of this is WWJD, right? So this was like back in the early 2000s, right? I remember when I was like 5 or 6. Every TV, not TV, but every car had that sticker. Like, what would Jesus do, right? All the Christians had that. And I'm not like trying to say religious stuff, but like that used to be like the big mantra. It completely went away, by the way, right? It's kind of fun. It's like a trend. But the trend was like, hey, think to yourself, when something crazy in your life happens, what would Jesus do? And the examples, like if you're driving, somebody cuts you off, would you flick them off and say the most heinous thing possible within your car? Oh, you jerk, insert nasty thing. Would Jesus do that? And in Christianity, right, like Jesus is supposed to be like the perfect person, or don't quote me, but like, right, that's what it's supposed to be like, right? And so technically he would not do that, right? And so you're supposed to think like that, and the thinking of that is just like, well, that will make you a better person. And that's completely true. And I'm not saying I'm Jesus, right? But what I'm saying is, if you're wholesaling, think of what would Zach do this in this situation, and try to be like, well, if he doesn't, then I want to be more like him, so I'm going to do what he does. That's kind of the base of what I'm saying. I'm not saying to be crazy. I'm not saying this to say anything nuts or try to do the ego thing, but like, or think of like a successful person you like. I don't know what to tell you, right? But like, if you're in a situation, would Zach do this or not? And that should help you in 80% of your wholesaling. Do not do personal life stuff, okay? But like I'm telling you, for wholesaling, it's like when a seller's like really mean. For example, a seller curses at you, right? They're like, "Oh, you're a jerk. You're terrible." Like, what would Zach do? Like, okay, thank you, and I just deal with it. Like, I don't freak out. I don't get in a yelling match. I don't lose my temper. I'm just part of the game, right? People are gonna hate. Number 13, lowball. I don't know why I have to say this. I don't know why I have to make this a whole thing. I feel like I'm wasting a lesson to give, but like it's true. Guys, just lowball. And some people say like don't lowball. Some people say go and lowball. But really, like I have found that lowballing is inherent in wholesaling. And a lot of people say that I never lowball, but the seller thinks you're lowballing. And that's inherently what you're doing at the same time. So a seller might want to sell for like 100 and really the MAO 60 and you offer 50. Well, that's technically lowballing, right? You're 60% below or 50% below what they want to sell for. So technically you're lowballing, but you're not lowballing. You know, think of an offer that embarrasses you and offer 20% below that. And you got to understand when you do that, you're not asking them, okay, specifically to go take that offer. You're offering it, but they have the ability to say no and renegotiate. So I know a lot of people don't like lowballing. You know, I think everyone that follows me embraces it. But just think about this. Your seller is highballing you. So what should you do to counteract that? Midball them? So should it be in the middle and they go in the high and then you meet in the middle and you lose out? No. If you lowball, they highball, you meet in the middle, like you both kind of win here, right? So you want to win-win. You technically, I argue if you want to win, have a win-win, you have to lowball, okay? And then the above, right, is the highball. So the seller wants the highball, right? They want the most for it. And I think they should ask the most. And then it's up to you to accept or renegotiate those terms. And then you lowball, meet the middle. Now, if guys, let me know in the comments. Let me know if I'm a liar, right? But haven't you seen most sellers are a little above what they actually want for the property? Of course, that's just human nature, right? Most sellers, I'd say 90% of them, highball initially what they want on the house. And you usually have to educate the seller or bring them down in price a little bit. And so they're going highball. So I argue you go lowball, and then you guys both work together on here, because if you meet their crazy price or you entertain it, you get stuck in crazy land. And I don't want you to be in crazy land, right? I want you to be in like nice regular land. And so lowballing is honestly the most logical thing you can do. Just being honest. And you don't have to worry about negotiating like crazy if you lowball, because you just stay on there and you should be fine. On top of that too, if you lowball, you don't have to be a crazy comper. You got actually the best comping tool out there, but whatever. 14, test. I cannot stress this enough, but test everything and anything. If you really want to be in the top 1% of wholesalers, the one thing I found from the top 1% of wholesalers is they constantly test everything. They try out different marketing strategies. They go out here and try different channels, right? They try everything. And one example for me, I'm a top 1% wholesaler. I've tried all these different marketing things, right? I've tried Facebook ads. I've gone all in on PPC, SEO. I've done the paper lead thing, right? The PPL, I call it BBL leads, right? But like, I'm not a big paper lead or PPC fan. I don't think that way works. I've tried it. I've tried to do it as nicely as possible. I know, but here's the thing about it. I know people that just destroy doing it. So I'm like, you go for it. You go, bro. Like they crush it. Awesome. But like what I found is like, I was texting, I had a podcast with this guy, Max, right? And I was talking to him because, like, I'm like, okay, I saw you make a PPL video. I'm like, just give me your stats. I want to be neutral. And he's like, well, 1 out of 10, I'm able to close, and a regular guy can do like 1 out of 19. And I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. So that means the average newbie has to drop 5 or 6 grand to get a deal closed, and they're making between 10 or 15, and they're dropping 6. I don't like those odds at all. Like that's a terrible ROI compared to cold calling or texting or whatever like that. And he's like, well, that's how it works. And I'm like, okay. And, he talks about it, right? Shout out to, Max on there. If he's watching, you can comment, check out his YouTube channel. But like, I've tested it out. Not my thing. I tested texting out, starting out, and it worked well. And I've continued to do that, right? I've tested digital bandit signs for a while. And I've tried all of these different things. And one thing I've always found is, you shouldn't badmouth or say anything bad about a marketing if you haven't tried it. And I've tried it and it didn't work for me. And I'll continue to test it. It still doesn't work for me. Whatever. No big deal. I ain't crying about it, but just test things out. Okay. Because you're going to find that you may be on market wholesaling and offering realtors lowball offers. It works really well for you. It doesn't work for me. But I know people that they make it their whole living and they make 6 figures a month doing it. You prove me wrong, you go at it, buddy. Like, hey, good for you. Like, I think you should test it. Don't have me do it. There's no bad like marketing style. Anyone can make it work. I'm just saying that's the style that I personally have found that works for me. No, that's what I teach at freeholstein.com. Number 15, believe in your words and your actions. Now, that's actually the definition of confidence, by the way. But my definition of confidence is the belief in the words you say and the actions you take. And so when somebody says that they don't have confidence, it's technically a translation to me that you don't believe in the words you say to a seller. And when you take an action, you don't believe in that action. For example, the action of calling a seller, you don't believe that you're going to do well. You don't believe you can actually help someone. When you tell a seller, hey, me and my partner looking to buy your property, like you don't say it right. So for example, if I go to a seller and say, hey, my name's Zach, me and my partner Rick, we're looking to buy some houses in the area for cash. First, I've practiced that a lot. I put a ton of reps in there, but also I truly believe me and Rick together with our funds combined, right? Mostly his funds, if I had no money, can buy the property cash from you. Now, if I didn't believe in that, I would probably say, and people are going to clip this out, but hey, me and my partner, Rick, we're looking to buy a couple houses in the area for cash. I was just seeing if you're looking to sell it. See, I don't believe in what I'm saying. I'm trying to think of something on the spot because I'm so scared and nervous because maybe I'm called out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't sound like you actually believe in what you're saying. And it's really subconscious. Like, people's guts are really, really good. Like your gut reaction or your gut, like intuition. I can't explain it. Maybe it's pseudoscience, but like it's a real thing. That's what it takes, right? Number 16, 15 hours a week of income producing activities is all you need to focus on. And I'm just telling you that if you focus on 15 hours of income producing activities every single week, you will do good. You will make money. You will become successful in wholesaling. That's all I'm asking. And what do I mean by income producing activities? It's an activity that will actively produce you money. So cold calling is one of them, texting a seller, going on an appointment, sending offers, things like maybe even finding a cash buyer, right? But like making a logo and pulling a list, it's not going to produce you income doing that, right? Now, what it's going to do is lead you to call, which is going to produce you income, which is cool. But but it's not, right? So 15 hours of income producing activities, that's what you got to do. Okay. 15 hours a week of income producing activities, go and do that. 17, sleep when you're dead. Now, it's another controversial Zach take, but it's something that I'm willing to say, and I'm willing to put my words behind. But guys, just sleep when you're dead. There's so much work to be done. It's insane, especially if you're looking to get rich, looking to change your life, looking to become successful. Just sleep when you're dead. This whole like resting and taking it easy, I don't believe in it. I'm being honest with you. And I'm saying this more to the crowd that's younger, right? If you have, my rule generally is like, if you have no kids, right? You're not married, you're living with your parents, like, come on, like sleep when you're dead. Like stop with the whole, I need some rest and you don't need to, right? Now, my one soft spot in my heart, like you're a parent or something, like don't be neglectful father or mother or terrible like wife or husband, like let's not do that. But just like, if you can, like just sleep when you're dead. I know it's crazy to say, but like you need to work. Like, I don't care if you get less sleep. I don't care if you're tired. Like you sleep when you're dead. Like you have work to do. Like this is a war for your wealth. And you don't win a war by sleeping in every day. Like if you're a nerd on history like me, like I love World War II, right? We did not take Normandy Beach by, sipping tea and sleeping in every morning, right? It was done through hard work, sleepless nights, and just pure adrenaline to attack and win the day. And that is what you need to do. And those are stories and glory that you can never take away. All right. The story of D-Day it just, if you ever feel like a sorry little baby, go watch a D-Day invasion documentary for an hour or two. I'm not into it. Just watch it. You will not complain about your life. I promise you that. And the thing is, there's just so much work to do. There's just so much work to be done if you are not rich right now. And the thing is, it's part of your journey. It's part of your awesome superhero story. But just get to work, guys. Number 18, prioritize, don't stress. Now, this is something I actually had a really big problem on starting out that I want to kind of help you before you kind of get on the grind. But I always had this thing where I had all these things going on and I was really stressed. And after I kind of learned this, my stress really went down by like 90% on what I had to get done, the tasks that had to be done, all these things. And the way that I eliminated stress was I just prioritized what I had to get done from top to bottom. For example, if my biggest priority of the day was that appointment, okay, that's number one. Number two, I got to make my calls. Number three, I got to do this. And just if you have 9 tasks you have to do, it's stressful to kind of juggle it in your mind. It's like a mental RAM or mental like hard space in your mind to go do this. But like if you just make a list of the 8 things and you have it and you just go top to bottom, most important on the top to bottom, prioritize from most important to least important, you end up getting more stuff done and you become less stressed. And so kind of like we kind of go back in the beginning, like know what you have to do the day before, or write down your what you have to get done. A schedule will be great. Okay. Number 3, hack your schedule. That'll help you out really, really well. So I want everyone to just go out here, prioritize, don't stress. Number 19, data over drama. Now, I didn't create this quote. I think a lot of people have said this quote. Let me see who created it. Not me, but I heard this a while back and I thought it was just something really cool. So I'm borrowing this over someone, right? Real Actors Lab. I don't know. I guess it's a podcast. I don't know who owns that quote, but it's a really cool quote. I absolutely love it. It says it's Sankalp Tripathi said this. Okay, I guess that, right? But like focus on the data, not the drama of your life. So I get a lot of people that give me the drama, right? Oh, it's so hard to wholesale. I'm trying so much and I'm doing this, but it just doesn't work. And you guys hear me on the one-on-one sometimes, right? Like it's like a 2-hour sob story about their life. And that's because I don't care, but it's like, well, does the data support the claim that you're broke and you're not successful? Or is it like, wow, you're working so hard? I rarely find individuals that actually are working hard and they can't get anything done. One example is I use this example a lot, but like I say it and he's watching this, he's probably laughing, but like Evan Hamilton. Evan Hamilton is probably one of the greatest examples of data over drama. That's an exception. That guy, that man, he's worked so hard in wholesale. He really got nowhere starting out. And all he did was change markets and he got a partner and his whole life changed. It's pretty dang cool. Right? So give a shout out to Evan Hamilton. He's actually in the GIN games. He's actually in the school community. He loved the JV with you guys. Doing well in the Detroit market and some in Tennessee. Maybe he's on here, you can chat. Maybe the one day he's not watching, but like he was somebody that is the rare exception where he was working so hard, and he was in the wrong market. Outside of him and very few examples, it's never that. For 99% of the time, it's just you're not working enough. You're not putting enough effort. The data is not supporting you. And so what I could tell you is focus on the data. Don't focus on the drama. Number 20, again, eyeballs are your biggest key performance indicator, your biggest KPI. Okay. Your biggest KPI is going to be eyeballs. And what I mean by this is the amount of people looking at your message, and more specifically, your message of you are looking to buy a couple properties in the area for cash. if 1,000 people see your text or say hello on the phone and know that you're looking to buy property in the area for cash, that's the most important KPI. So I don't care that, I get people that say like, Zach, I made 1,000 calls. I don't care that you made 1,000 calls. How many of those people actually picked up the phone and actually heard that you're looking to buy houses? Oh, only 5 people picked up. Well, who cares about the 1,000 calls? That don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing, man. I don't care about you sent 1,000 texts. How many people actually saw that text? That's what's most important. So eyeballs are the biggest marketing KPI. So if we're focused on marketing, focused on getting wholesaling deals right, we need to focus super hard on getting that. And what we call that is contacts, right? So there is a call and there is a contact, right? So if I make 100 calls and I get 20 to pick up, that is 20 divided by 100. That is a 20% contact rate. So eyeballs are the biggest marketing KPI. Just understand that. Really, really, really important. 21, stop caring about work-life balance. Another crazy thing I'm saying and another controversial take that people are going to be mad at me, but a lot of people want to talk about how to have the right mental health in wholesaling. I'm like, well, I laugh so hard. I'm like, mental health and wholesaling are not even the same. They're not even the same ballpark, okay? If you're starting out, your mental health ain't going to be the best for wholesaling. And maybe you just got to hear somebody who's actually going to tell you the dang truth. But if you really want to become successful, you're going to have to eat, breathe, live this business. And then you get to the point where I'm at, where, yeah, I have mental health with wholesaling, which is like, bleh, right? I don't care. I want to work all day. But, I make too much money where I can't cold call anymore. Oh, rats. I have to have cold callers do it because they're better than me because you got more of them than me. And so your work-life balance is not really going to be a thing, especially if you have a full-time job. Like, it's really not going to be being a thing getting started in wholesaling. And I know that sucks, but like, you're good. I kind of come back to this, but like, you got to stack those chips to become successful. And to increase the odds, you're going to have to work everything. That's what it is. And so wholesaling real estate is just all about going out here and talking to sellers and getting in front of those people, writing contracts and selling the contract. And it's a really, really bad dog eat dog world, but like, there's always a 17 or 18-year-old that wants to take your lunch, that wants to take everything you have built from you. As I'm speaking to you in this video, I know for a fact there is an 18-year-old watching this in my market that wants to take all of my market share, that wants to take all of my wholesaling deals. There's a guy in Detroit, right? Maybe it's Evan Hamilton, who knows? He wants to work with me, so no big deal, right? Like, there's somebody in Detroit who wants to take my virtual wholesaling business in Detroit. They want to take all my other virtual, they want to take all my income. They want to take everything I make. That's just business. Like basketball, there's a 17-year-old that wants to be in the NBA, that wants to take your starting spot from you. There's always somebody that wants to take everything away from you. And I have to work like crazy so that doesn't happen. And the only way that happens is if I work harder than them. And there comes a point where I have enough of an army where it's like a little different, but like, it's a true statement. And I hate to tell you, and a lot of people get uncomfortable with that, and I don't think you should, but there's always somebody who wants what you have. And if they're willing to work harder than you to get to that, then you're willing to work to keep it, you are most likely going to lose it. So I think Mark Cuban says this, right? He's like, work like somebody's wanting to take it all. And in my case, it's more than one that wants to take everything. There are people, if they had the choice to put me on the streets and take all my money, they would. And they try to outwork me, but like, it's impossible. Like, you can't lap the amount of work I put in and the amount that my team puts in every single week. So you got to understand that fact. Number 22, use tools. Guys, tools are really important, and I think a lot of people think tools are a paid thing. So yes, I talk about X Leads a lot. X Leads is the ultimate all-in-one wholesaling software, unlimited skip tracing, unlimited free skip tracing, drawing for dollars out, Ninja Mode, all that stuff. But like, you don't need to spend money using X Leads to use a tool, right? What I mean by this is like, there's tools out there that I tell you for free that are absolutely amazing at freewholesaling.com. For example, One of my favorite tools is Podio. It's a free CRM. Google Voice is a free dialer. Cyber background checks and True People Search are free skip tracing tools, right? I'm not telling you not to use tools, right? I'm not telling you have to spend money to use tools. But like, if you have no money, use the free tools. Like, they are tools, okay? If you want to be a good painter, if you have no money, you still need a paintbrush, okay? You can do finger paint. So still, use tools. And a lot of people are like, I don't need a tool. If it's free, use it. You'll be more efficient with tools than without tools. So definitely go out here and do it. So yeah, FYI, use tools. And if you have money for tools, xleads.com. xleads.com. Cool. 23, choose to be a winner. Now, I don't know why I have to say this, but winners are chosen before they win. And you must decide to win before you win. And what I mean by this is, like, if you're in a boxing match, or let's say you're in a fight, a fist fight, right? If you're trying to beat up somebody and you both have just knuckles and you're going to beat each other up, you fundamentally, as a precursor, right, a prerequisite, you have to think that you're going to win the fight to have a better chance of winning the fight. So if I'm fighting someone, I can't beat this guy up, I don't think I can win, you're more likely to lose the fight versus I got this, I can do this. Because it'll push you a little more if you know you can do it, right? And so actually believing in your abilities and believing in yourself, it will help you out a lot more. Okay? Like, it will help you significantly more if you go in that appointment knowing that you can do it. Before you make an offer, know that you can get that offer accepted if you try your hardest. And hey, maybe they say no, but I know my best of my abilities. I'm going to do the best chance of getting that deal locked up. Just believing that you can do it is a super powerful thing, because believing in the actions you take and the words you say builds confidence. So this is another thing, just kind of coming back to confidence, but like, this is confidence. This is how you build up. This is how you believe in yourself. This is how you start doing deals. Okay? Believe it. Number 24, feed your brain with good content, or give a good diet for your brain. A lot of people focus on the diet of their bodies, but they have terrible brain diet, right? Gen Z, or they call it Gen Alpha, the ones even younger than me now, they call it brain rot, and it's kind of funny, but like, if you're just constantly on social media or constantly talking to people in your circle that are depressed and they're sad, and the worst one is, I just can't catch a break, people, right? Oh, I can't catch a break, or life's terrible. Things are tough right now. And if somebody is in life and things are, come on, tell me in the comments, do you know people that life is always tough? There's always something dramatic, always something bad happening. And these people think life is just happening to them, not for them. And life is just beating them down to a pulp. And it's like the Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, like, life will kick you and beat you until you say, I'm done with it, and you actually start fighting back. Because life will just keep beating you if you let it happen, right? The thing is, there's always people in your life that sometimes are family members, but most cases it's friends that just everything sucks. Everything's terrible. Nothing oh. Let me tell you a big secret. I'm not getting on a tangent. I'm just going to tell you a dang secret. Those people that are just so depressed and everything's so sad, if you just took them and hung them in front of a bridge, and they would fall their death if you release them, and you say, you sad now? You're depressed? What if I just let you go and you fall and you pass away? Would you be more depressed if I did that? No, I want to live. Oh, so, okay. And you put them back and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful to be alive. Or they're in a plane that almost crashes, but they survive. They're going to be a 10 out of 10 for the day. They're not going to feel like a victim, right? And it's just crazy. It's all a mindset. And here's the thing about people that have they've close to death, or they have these situations where they almost died. They're like at a 10 out of 10 for like the entire month, and then they go back to where they're doing half the time. But like sometimes it just takes, and that's all a mindset thing, right? Knowing how blessed you are to be alive, because at any moment something crazy could happen to you. And I'm being honest with you, right? Statistically, something, God forbid, knock on wood, right, could happen to me tomorrow. Like I have no idea. It's out of my control. And that's why I live every moment of my life to the fullest, because you never know when it could be your last breath. And you have to have complete, utter love of your life right now. I'm not getting religious. I'm just telling you the dang truth. There's somebody your age who is not going to wake up tomorrow. That is a complete fact in this world. So you need to live life to the fullest. You are richer, you are more successful, and you are doing better than anyone in a graveyard right now. So really understand that. And you have a little more pep in your step. You'll feel a little bit better about yourself, and you'll be so happy. Heck, I'll go even a tad further. If you are like 25 right now, right? Let's say you're 25. There are so many billionaires at 98 years old that would trade anything in life to be where you are at right now. Anything. So like have a little feel a little happy about your like, wow, these billionaires would do anything to be just like me. Come on, you got to feel a little good about it. You got to feel a little rich about that, right? Got to feel a little excited. You got to be like, dang, I am lucky, because you are. And I'm telling you guys right now, like feed your brain with good content. And I would say this is good content. You know, there's other great creators out there that don't make you feel like a victim every single day. And, you know, like there's some people you just got to deal with, right? I know, but like just start looking at life like that, right? Because the happiest people think the best of life, not of themselves. They don't have crazy egos, right? They deal with negatively very well, right? The happiest people, because, you know, people that are just negative towards you, they don't, like, you might have haters in your life, right? They don't know your full story. They don't understand it. And most of them are jealous of where you're at right now. And that's why they're hating on you. So just understand that, like, that's okay, right? Feed your brain with good content and people that are actually positive about their life and how things are going. You'll do good. I promise you this. 25, focus on one, not good, not one okay, but one great cash buyer a week. If you can focus on getting one great cash buyer a week, that's 52 great cash buyers a year. Like you're loaded on the dispo side. Like you are absolutely loaded, right? Everyone talks about you need these crazy dispo software. Like, yeah, I have X Leads. That's great, right? It's the best dispo software in the game. But like, if you can find one, if you have 52 great buyers on your contacts on your phone, you're doing pretty good. Like you ain't doing bad, and you're never going to struggle through it. It's the people that don't do it until they get a deal. They have to sell it, and they get all stressed. But if you're prepared, you're going to be good to go. What I mean by this is like in my car, it's like $15. Buy it for yourself. I think everyone should. It's like one of the, because I live by water, you know, but like it's one of those things where it's like it breaks the window in a car. So like if you know, hopefully this never happens, but like if you fall off a bridge and your car's plowing the water, you can use the tool to cut your seatbelt and like break a window and get out safely in a bad accident. And it saves people's lives. Like statistically, it's like you'd rather have that than not have that, right? Because if you're in a situation where you need it, like a fire extinguisher, I'd rather have a fire extinguisher than not have it, right? I'd rather not be a massive fire and be like, well, I wish I had a fire extinguisher. Same thing with a good buyer. Like having that in your back pocket, if you have a good deal, boom, you get sold and you don't have to be bad. I'm just telling you. 26, ask questions to build rapport. By far, the greatest rapport building that I have found in wholesaling is just asking people questions. Heck, the best way to build rapport with people in general is to ask questions. Now, this is my Sunday night live stream, so I can go a little crazy. I will tell the young men out here that are looking to date. If you go on a date, let me give you a quick hack. Just ask the lady or whoever you're dating questions. I promise you, that will make them feel heard, understood, and that you care about them, and they'll like you more. People like people that want to get to know them. And so my hack is just ask them questions. Same thing with sellers, same with building friendships, having friends. I just ask them questions. And you will find that that's the best way to build rapport. Have you ever dealt with somebody like you try to talk to them, and all they do is talk about themselves? They have no care in the world about you. They just want to talk about them, 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 them. Those are people that you know, you don't have a good rapport with them, right? They only care about themselves. And the same thing when building a connection or a relationship with a seller, or like a friendship, right? It's all about asking them and like genuine questions, like not fake questions or like, oh, how's the sky today? Like an actual real question because you actually understand and hear. You will build insane rapport, and that's how you get really good at having conversation with sellers and doing well, and kind of having that charm with a seller and beating out being a top 1%. You might have like, dang, like how's that person like? How does him and this old lady, they're just joking and having a great time together? Well, he's able to make jokes because he's asking enough questions. He knows enough about her so he can make a joke about Sunday brunch or scrambled eggs because he asks so many questions that he knows all this stuff. Just by you just kind of being cool, you ain't going to do it. And so asking questions is one of the best ways to build rapport. I think a lot of people really struggle with that. And like one thing on top of that too, it's like, I think about like young people too. Like people are 18, 19, they struggle talking to sellers that are like 63 years old. There's like an age divide. And the thing is, if an 18-year-old asks a 62-year-old a question about something that they like, it builds rapport more than anything else. So for example, 18-year-olds are usually not into golf. But if an 18-year-old wholesaler asks a 62-year-old seller about their golf set and when do they like golfing, where do you like to golf? Tell me about it. I'm not a big golfer. Tell me about it. Like what makes you really into golf? They will yap, 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 yap. Boom, rapport built. Okay. Well, next time we lock up that deal, maybe when we get the close, we can go out to the link sometime. You can show me around, right? Ha, 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 ha. I know that sounds crazy, but like you feel like you can't relate to somebody. You don't need to relate. You just got to ask them questions of things that they like about. That's it. Number 27, you get nowhere in life by complaining. And you might have to catch yourself doing this. And I think it's really important. I never really had this problem really since I was 17, but catch yourself complaining or talking bad or like just being generally upset about things in life. If you start replacing complaining about like, hey, is this in my control or not in my control? If it's not in my control, why am I stressing about it? Start looking at life like that, right? Just stop. If you can eliminate as much complaining in life as possible about other people or yourself or your situations outside your control, you'll just be a lot happier in your life. Just being honest. Number 28, busy equals broke. Cannot stress this enough. So many wholesalers or so many beginners are busy, but they continue to stay broke. What I mean by this is a lot of organized people. That's the best way I can explain this. They're very organized individuals. They tend to be just busy all the time. And this is just a type of person, but like they tend to always spend time doing things that don't really matter. Like they'll spend 3 hours, and I'm probably hitting somebody really hard right now. I'm being honest. They'll probably spend 2.5, 3 hours on the perfect spreadsheet for their marketing, their perfect CRM, their logo, their website, their shot on their Facebook profile, so it looks all good. They'll spend hours getting perfecting, and they feel like it's because they're actually getting stuff done. But I'll tell you truthfully to your face, you are doing that because you're procrastinating. You don't want to cold call. So you say, oh, well, actually, I don't need to call. I need to make my logo right. I need to go get the spreadsheet right. And it's not because you're so organized. It's because you're just a procrastinator. But your brain is playing tricks on you, on making you feel like you're actually doing things in life. Now, a lot of people probably feel guilty of this right now. Busy equals broke. Do not be busy. Get work done. 29, cry now, win later. And this concept's really important because you're going to find that you're going to have a lot of hard times ahead in wholesaling. You're going to have a lot of hard work. But just understand that you are crying now. You are suffering right now in wholesaling, or not suffering, right? You're enduring in wholesaling a lot because you're going to win later. Like there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Okay. Like that's it. Okay. There is a light at the end of the tunnel here. All right. So what I want you to do is just really look at the light at the end of the tunnel here. Okay. In wholesaling real estate, you are going to win. If you just put the work in, if you just talk to sellers, if you just go out here and do the work, put the 15 hours in for like a year straight, every single week, you are going to win. It's better to pay the price now than pay the price of being broke down the road. Being broke at 50 is not something you want to do. If you're in your 20s right now, decide to cry now and suffer and endure than being broke when you're older. Being broke when you're old is not fun, probably. I've never been old and broke, but I'll be old someday. I won't be broke someday. So understand that. And the last piece of advice I can give everyone, number 30, the offer is more important than anything else. Offer over everything. And this is the hill that I'm going to end today on. This is the hill I'm going to die on in wholesaling. But it's all about the offer. If I can show you one KPI, right? That's a marketing KPI, but like KPI of anyone's business. So if you want to tell me about your business, right? This is like Shark Tank, and you want me to invest in your wholesaling company. I can do with about an 85 to 90% accuracy. I can tell you to a T, roughly within 90% of how much money you make a month if you just answer one question for me. How many offers do you give to qualified sellers? If you give me that answer, I know exactly how much you make. If you're in person in Detroit, Michigan, and you're making 6 offers a month, I can assume you're making 10 to 15 grand a month. Like in person. Qualified, conditioned, everything like that. And it's just basic statistics, right? And so if I can look at it, and if you've done 0, guys, that's the KPI. If you made 0 offers, you've made $0. That's the business. That's wholesaling going for you, right? And the 1% of wholesalers make 99%. They make 99% more offers than the average person. The top 1% of wholesalers make the top 1% of offers. That is the direct correlation in this business. That's it. Simple as that. That's how you get rich wholesaling real estate. Simple as that. So you want to be in the top 1%? This is my ultimate guide. These are the 30. So focus hard on that. Nice how you become successful wholesaling real estate. So what I want to do is answer your questions live right now.